So today what I want to do is take a look at two different end time entities. Okay, one of them actually is a system, that's the harlot, okay, and the other one is a kingdom. All right, now a lot of people get these two entities confused, and they think that the harlot system is a part of the beast kingdom, that the harlot and the beast are sort of connected, and that the one world government is going to involve, the Catholic Church or the ecumenical religious world system, all of that. Let me talk to you a bit about the difference between the harlot and the beast. Okay, the harlot is called Mystery Babylon. On her forehead, she has a name of mystery: Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and of earth's abominations. The name of mystery, that is part of the clue. In the Greek, the word mystery is the word mysterion, which means to do this. It's to shut the mouth. It's to keep a secret. And this word has to do with people being initiated into the mystery religions of the world. So the harlot has a name of mystery, so she is connected with anything that's secret that's happening in the world. So you could talk about secret societies. You could talk about any kind of organization or institution that requires one to move up the ladder. Okay, any institution that is shaped like a pyramid with the people at the top controlling the people at the bottom. So the harlot is a system. We also know that because the harlot is seated on many waters. And we know this from Revelation 17, where it talks about the harlot. And it says in verse 1 that she is seated on many waters. And later on in chapter 17 and verse 15, we learn that the waters that you saw where the harlot is seated are peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. So the harlot is seated on many waters. So the harlot isn't a country, it isn't a city, it's a system that controls the whole world. It's a mystery religion. Okay, so here I want to talk about religion a little bit too. A lot of times when people think about religion, they only think about mainline religions. So you're a Muslim, or you're a Christian, or you're Hindu, or you're an animist. But when God looks at the system, any system that you sell yourself to becomes an idol, and it's a religion. So you can be an atheist, a communist atheist, but you believe that the party must be perpetuated at all costs. Well, that becomes your religion. So in essence, Marxism, it's a religion, okay? It's what people devote their life to. They give themselves to this. So religion is not just what we think about when we think about religion. All systems that are hierarchical in nature basically are religious in that sense, okay? They're in the sense that they are part of an institution, a system. We're talking about levels of control. We're talking about people at the top who know more than people at the bottom, people who are initiated as they go up the ladder. So we can look at any kind of institution that's out there. We can look at the financial sector is a kind of religion. The people at the top control what goes on at the bottom. Central banks control what goes on and what dictates what happens in different countries with their financial system. The people at the top who pull all the strings, they keep what they do a secret. Okay, so one of the things that the harlot does, that she has working for her, that enables her to manipulate the masses, is deception, of course. She deceives the nations. I believe that's part of what she does. But the deception is done through sorcery. And Revelation 18 tells us that. So it's verse 23, the second half of the verse. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, and all nations were deceived by thy sorcery. Okay, so what is sorcery? So let's just take a look at the whole money thing. Money is currency. Currency is something like a current. It flows. Okay, so money flows. And one of the things that we find on our money, for example, here in the United States, on our dollar bill, is something I would call money magic. It's we have the Great Seal on the back of the dollar bill, the all-seeing eye, the pyramid, and of course, all of this is occult symbolism. But it flows through the system, and there is a kind of what we might call lesser magic or something associated with money that deceives the world. And out of all the things that are deceptive, our dollar today is deceptive. It's not a unit of wealth, it's actually a debt. Okay, so I'm not going to go into the whole economic realities of that, but this is part of the sorcery that happens with the harlot. So the harlot system it's in education. Okay, so if you start school, you move up the grades. Okay, they don't call them degrees, they call them grades, till you graduate when you're a senior in high school, 12th grade. You wear a mortar board on your head. You are, conferred a diploma, and now you can move into college. Okay, where again you go up the ladder, you get another degree, and so on and so forth. Now, I'm not saying that we should never go to school. People shouldn't go to college, not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that this is a system that has been placed on us. It is part of the burden that we're under when we are in the harlot system. This system is applicable to almost anything you can imagine. Really, any institution is utilizing the harlot system of moving up. People at the top know more than people at the bottom. People at the top have control over the people at the bottom. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors and illusion and deception that takes place. And it's the kind of sorcery that the harlot uses. Okay, she has to use deception and sorcery to manipulate the masses. Okay, this can also be done in religion. It's done in all kinds of ways. Okay, the military, for example, is a top-down organization, very clearly top-down organization. If you're at the bottom, if you're a private somewhere, you have no idea what's going on, at the Pentagon. Okay, and they would say you shouldn't know. Well, that may be true, but the guy at the bottom is probably going to be the one that's the cannon fodder, not the person at the top. So this affects people. All right, the system is in place. And right now, the people who are in the system, it says that they're merchants, they're the great men, they're the kings of the earth. If you read through Revelation 18, you'll see all the people who, when Babylon is destroyed, okay, when the system comes tumbling down and all the components that are in the system, when all this comes tumbling down, the people who are at the top are going to really be unhappy. All right, so who are people who are at the top? Well, there's people right now pushing a vaccination, and I won't say his name, but there's some initials here, and this person is probably one of the great men of the earth. Okay, people pay attention to him. For whatever reason, don't know, but it's part of that sorcery, the deception and sorcery that happens, that people are under a kind of spell. And it's hard for people to see what the truth is of the situation. But what will happen is this system here, the harlot system, is going to be destroyed at the sixth trumpet. And the sixth trumpet is right at the midpoint, exactly when the abomination of desolation takes place. Okay, so in Revelation 17, we learn that the harlot is riding the beast. That's the scarlet beast. The harlot is riding the beast. So we know what system the beast is being controlled by. He's being constrained by the harlot system. The harlot is a system, but the beast is not a system. It's a kingdom. Okay, Revelation 16, when we see the bowls being poured out, and the fifth angel poured out his bull on the throne of the beast, and its kingdom was in darkness. Okay, the beast has a kingdom, he has a throne and a kingdom. So when the beast comes into power, he is going to get rid of the system. He is not going to go by what this is. And because he is the Antichrist, he is going to set up an anti-millennium. Now, when Christ rules, is he going to use a system where the people at the bottom don't know anything and everybody at the top knows everything, and the people at the top control the people at the bottom for whatever their purposes are? You know, what Jesus said is, you're my friends and I tell you what I'm doing. When you see the throne of God in heaven, you don't see the throne of God way up here and people way down there. And, you know, there's this huge gap or distance between God and his people. What you see is God's throne, okay? And all around the throne are the thrones of the 24 elders. They're kind of on the same plane. So the fellowship is all mutual. So God's perfect ideal, and the one that's going to happen in the new heaven and the new earth, which is after the millennium, is going to be a time when the people on earth, the glorified saints, Christ, God, are all dwelling together. The New Jerusalem is on the earth, and there is this place where everybody is all together. Now, when Christ returns, he's going to set up a kingdom where he'll rule with a rod of iron. Okay, so he's going to have to rule with some force, because the people he's ruling over and that the glorified saints are ruling over are the people who have made it through the reign of the beast, and they haven't taken the mark. Okay, and believe it or not, there are people who aren't believers but who will end up going into the millennial kingdom, because we know that when Christ returns, he's going to judge the nations as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. Some of the nations are going to actually go into this millennial kingdom. Also, there's going to be the remnant of Israel who is in the wilderness, who gets brought out of the wilderness and is going to be a part of the millennial reign of Christ. These are mortal people. They'll have children. They'll have babies and repopulate the earth, but they still all have a sin nature. As glorified saints who rule with Christ, we don't have a sin nature, so we're going to be able to assist him in the rule on the earth, and we are also priests to God in heaven. What the anti-Messiah does is he imitates Christ. So he's going to have a kingdom, and he's going to rule with his own rod of iron. He's going to insist, the false prophet is going to insist that everybody take a mark, and that's how they show allegiance to the beast, to the anti-Messiah. And those who want to be part of the glorified group of anti-Messiah people are going to be transformed into the image of the beast. Just like as believers, we're transformed into the image of Christ, and we're given a glorified body and an eternal life. These people are going to be transformed into the image of the beast. So the mark of the beast and the image of the beast are two different things. Okay, one of them is just a mark that shows allegiance to the beast, to the anti-Messiah. And the other thing is where you want to be transformed and become like the anti-Messiah. You want to be made into this hybrid being, which is what the beast is. So the beast has a kingdom, okay, and it is his own millennium. If you can differentiate this right here, it's super important. And the harlot is going to be destroyed by next spring. So the whole system that you see right now is going to be gone in less than a year. This system that we're living under is going to be gone, and there is going to be a false millennium that begins when the abomination of desolation takes place. So between now and then, this harlot system is going to actually be the dominant force that is rolling everything out. And then once this harlot system has lost its usefulness, it will be destroyed. Now, the surprising thing is that the people who've been building up this system, who think that they're going to go on into the beast system, that they're going to have some part in whatever is going on with the beast system, well, they are going to be sorely disappointed. When we read in Revelation 18, this is what the people who are in the system think about their system. They say this: she has glorified herself and played the wanton, so give her a like measure of torment and mourning. Since in her heart she says, a queen I sit. I am no widow, mourning I will never see. So shall her plagues come in a single day, pestilence, mourning, and famine, and she will be burned with fire, for mighty is the Lord God who judges her. So right now, all these people, the elites, the Luciferians, the whatever, they think that they are going to be going into this beast kingdom, that they'll have a position there, but they won't. They're going to be destroyed. A lot of them are going to be destroyed with the system. And they're actually, once the system is destroyed, there's no place for them anymore. There is no place for them in the system, because it's not a system. Now it's a kingdom. What are some of the things that are going to characterize the kingdom of the beast? Well, first off, it ain't like nothing you've ever seen. So all of our paradigms sort of fall apart when we try to think about the beast and the beast kingdom. And I believe technology is going to be a huge part of that. So what happens is the harlot system has brought the world to a certain point. And the beast, though he doesn't like it, he's connected with it and it's okay. And then once the harlot has lost her usefulness, he'll do away with her. He'll keep the aspects that have been brought in, the technological whatevers, and he'll use those, but he'll use them against people, and he'll use them as a tyrant uses them. You have to do these things. He is going to rule with a rod of iron as well. So one of the plans that I believe is a part of what the beast kingdom is going to do is it's going to erase the image of God from mankind. And it's going to do that through the image of the beast. It's going to transform regular people into hybrids that once you've done this, you cannot, it's irreversible, you can't go back. And the mark of the beast is actually something different, but in a certain way, it also is irreversible. And I'm not sure exactly how that is, but I don't think that everyone who takes the mark of the beast is going to be transformed into the image of the beast, although that may be possible. Now, who are going to be the leaders or rulers of the beast kingdom? Okay, this is the part where it gets kind of scary. So remember, all the angels are going to be kicked out of heaven. They're going to come to the earth. Okay, so we're going to have fallen angels. The pit is opened and all the watchers are going to come out of the pit. Okay, and these are the fallen angels who bred with women in Genesis 6. And they are going to be on earth again, just like they were before the flood. Okay, also, of course, we're going to have the dragon, Satan, is going to be on the earth. And he's going to be ruling through his son, we're going to call him the beast. But he is also indwelt by the beast who ascends from the bottomless pit, who is Apollyon, who is the king of the watchers. The watchers were kings. They have crowns on their heads. Okay, they're the locust army. They're the entities that come from the locust army. And Apollyon is the king of them all. Okay, now remember, the watchers, part of what they did was they gave forbidden technology to man. And I believe that they've withheld some information. So when the beast kingdom comes along, these advances in technology are going to just skyrocket. So all of these are the entities who now want to take over the earth. So if you hear about people who are talking weird things like the earth is being terraformed, or there's things happening to the earth, and a lot of those things are very detrimental to people and to animals and to living things, there's something about it, though, that's not detrimental to these entities here. And they are going to be here on the earth, and this is going to be their new home, okay? They're not living in heaven anymore, and the watchers are not living in the pit anymore. They're on the terrestrial earth. They don't like people. Okay, they don't like people, and they're going to want to destroy the image of God in man. So either you are going to say you're going to take allegiance to the beast, and then you'll be a useful idiot for them in whatever way they want to use you. Or you can say, I want to go to the next level. I want to be a hybrid myself, and I want it to have the image of the beast. And in that case, you will receive worship because people worship the image of the beast, okay? The image is not an idol. And Revelation makes the difference. It discerns a difference between an idol. These people worship idols, and not all of them give up their idol worship at the sixth trumpet. Some of them will continue to worship their idols of gold, silver, and stone. The word for image, though, is the word icon, which means an exact representation. We are in the image of Christ. We are the representation of Christ. And Christ is the icon or the exact representation of God. So people can decide, do you want to be just a regular person, or do you want to go the next level? And maybe you don't have a choice. Maybe they will choose for you that you can go to this next level and be made in the image of the beast, receive worship, have a kind of immortality or eternal life, or have all the perks that go with living on whatever this kingdom is that he's doing here. So the Pope, for example, is a part of the system. So the Pope can't be the Antichrist. The Pope is not the false prophet. The Pope is a part of the system that's going to be destroyed. Right. So I talk about all of these things in my book, A Kingdom of Priests, The Stories of Revelation. And you can get the PDF for free. You can go to Amazon, get the paperback. You can get a Kindle version. You can listen to the book on audio. I'm recording it a few chapters at a time and putting it up there. So this stuff is in the book, okay? And the harlot system, when I talk about it in the book, I talk about it in terms of religion mostly. But I do talk about how basically anything that is shaped like a pyramid, anything that has a pyramid structure, where there's controlling people at the top and everything is top down, that operates through, dispensing knowledge. Okay. And that's what the initiation rites of secret societies and mystery religions and all of that was, through this dispensing of higher knowledge. Okay. And it used to be the only way you could get that information was to be trained. Okay. But now, of course, it's all over the internet. You can find all kinds of things, and the enemy is using deception and sorcery to sort of direct your gaze somewhere else, using sleight of hand to keep you looking in one direction while he's doing something else where you cannot see it over here. And that's part of the magic of what he's doing. So yes, this is a magic kingdom that we're living in. It's a system that is based on sorcery and magic and deception. The beast kingdom does not like the harlot and will destroy the harlot on the day that he sits in the temple of God proclaiming that he's God. All right, so I kind of want to talk about what does this mean for us. And I think I'm going to do it on the next video, because the harlot system, even though it's going to be destroyed, it doesn't mean that it's not a formidable foe. It really is. And the harlot system is also out to destroy the bulk of humanity. Doesn't like having so many people to control. It's easier to control smaller groups of people. So what the harlot wants to do is actually reduce population. That's done in a whole number of ways. War is a big one. Creating famines, like was done in China and the Soviet Union. Other places where famine is created. In fact, famine is more often man-made than it is by, locust swarms descending or droughts or that sort of thing. It's a form of manipulation. It's how people who are in positions of power can manipulate politics of poorer countries and even richer countries. So the bottom line is the harlot is formidable, the harlot is dangerous, and the harlot, actually, this system, is going to kill more Christians than the beast kingdom will kill. There are going to be millions and millions and millions, I believe, of people who are going to come to Christ between now and next spring. And the harlot is going to be so threatened by all of these new believers who are not controllable by the harlot. They're being controlled by the Spirit of God, that she will instigate a war against them. And there will be a lot of believers dying, perhaps most of them. These are the people who come out of the Great Tribulation for believers, which is in the first part of the 7 years, which will, I believe, take place next spring, when the bulk of Christians will die. But what about believers right now? Are we going to have any kind of tribulation or suffering in the next few months? Now, those of you who watch my channel, you know that I believe that we're going to be taken out of here, glorified, and then raptured this fall. That there is no more delay. The time has run out, and now Christ is going to come and get us and take us into heaven. So we're not going to be here for the big persecution that's going to happen. That's the great tribulation, the great persecution. But that doesn't mean we won't be here for a smaller one. And that's the one I'm going to want to talk about on the next video. So I hope you'll leave a comment in the comment section, and I hope you'll get my book. If you've read my book and you like what I do, I hope you'll go back to Amazon and leave a nice review. Okay, that way the book will stay up there in the top books in eschatology, and more people will find me. Also, if you could share my videos with other people, that would be awesome. Time is really running short. I don't know how long the internet's going to be up. I don't know how long I have to do these videos. And so as the Lord leads, I hope you will share my channel with other people. So until the next video, I pray you'll have a very, very blessed day, and give me a thumbs up on the way out. We'll see you on another video.